Welcome back to the Economy of Ancient Rome assignment. Are you excited? I know I am. Okay, let's get into the next part after our graphic organizer to the comprehension questions. Now, these are just making sure that you understand what's in your graphic organizer. So, I don't want to give too much away here, but I just do want to help guide you a little bit still because these are a little bit tricky. So how did job specialization benefit the Roman economy? Well, obviously, everybody didn't just have to be a farmer growing food to barely survive. So they were able to specialize. They were able to do glass making or blacksmithing, whatever. And that gave them items to trade. And that is how you become more prosperous, is by being able to have specialization. And they were pioneers in this area. All right. So, number 2, how did ancient Rome use currency and what was the effect on international trade? We talked about that before too. The common currency, the example with the United States not having the same money. Same thing with these guys. It also made it clear what items were worth, because if you're bartering, and then it's hard to know, okay, that clay pot, it's worth 2 chickens, it's worth a goat, or whatever. It's impossible to have any sort of standardized thing if you're in a barter system. So if you have common currency, people know, okay, it costs a denarius, all right. Then it just makes trade that much easier. Number 3, why did ancient Rome begin to trade more with other regions? Again, we talked about this. The reason is, okay, you're supposed to say it there, to feed their people. Okay, how they had to get grain. We talked about getting grain from Egypt. Yes. Okay, how did taxation benefit ancient Rome? Getting taxes. Well, that grain thing, it helped them be able to pay for grain to feed its people. And also, we talked about the Roman army and protecting all those roads and everything. Well, how are you going to pay those guys? How are you going to get them swords and how are you going to feed them and give them chariots and all that kind of stuff? Well, you need taxes. So that's how taxes benefited them, or those are some ways. How about the growth of trade? How did it change Roman society? Now, we didn't so much get this from what we've had earlier. It really had a lot to do with ideas. They learned new things from other places in the world. They learned paper making from Egypt. They learned about silk from China, those types of things. And it just also, like I mentioned a minute ago, made their standard of living that much higher. So there you go. And then number 6, why did ancient Romans develop networks of highways, waterways, and other transportation? Oh, let's go back to my map of, there we go. There's Rome. Okay, so why did they do this? Well, obviously to make it easier to trade. We talked about sailing their ships around to trade things and then taking those nice Roman roads to trade. But there was another reason, and that was to move the army around. The Roman legions could actually cover a lot of ground. Those guys could really move on foot. I'm saying they were very good at that. And in fact, in the United States, if you've ever been on an interstate highway, and in fact, if you haven't, you're very unusual. The whole reason the interstate highway system was made was to move the United States military around. That was back in the 1950s. We were worried that we were going to go to war with the Soviet Union or Russia. And they wanted a quick, easy way to move our military around. So next time you're out on I-90 or whatever, remember, this is built to move the military. Kind of weird, but we did it. The Romans did it. It's just common sense. All right, I'm going to have one more video for you in the last section.